So come to the middle of your mat and take a seat. That's how we'll be beginning this class. If it's comfortable, you just sit in Utkatasana pose with one ankle in front of the other. Please sit that way. If something else is more comfortable, please find that. If you need to be propped up a little bit, take the choice that's best for you. Allow your eye gaze to soften. Perhaps allow your eyes to close. And for right now, simply allow your palms to rest on your thighs or maybe in your lap. A place where you feel supported and have very little effort. Allow yourself this time to arrive. Start to increase your breath so that your inhales are more deep, your exhales more full. And then start to notice any tension that exists in your body and just invite it away. And if it's hard to do right now without any movement and stillness, then allow yourself a little bit of movement. For instance, if it feels like your forehead gets tense, maybe scrunch up your forehead and then release it so that you can feel that difference. To move to find stillness. And with every exhale, see if you can find a little bit more relaxation. Your inhale is a little bit more spaciousness. I'd like to invite you to set a dedication for this practice, an intention that means something for you. If you read the message I sent out yesterday, right now is a really nice time to start thinking about what deserves your attention. What changes do you want to see in your life? Or simply, what do you want? What is your intention? What do you intend? I've had a lot of conversations with friends and family lately about the way that we've been treating each other and the way that we've been treating ourselves. Just kind of a recent shift, some patterns that have been showing up. And so the thing that I've been inviting into my life is providing myself more compassion. Giving myself a little bit more room to breathe. And if that's something that resonates with you, then I invite you to also choose that dedication and intention. If something else speaks to you, choose what is best for you right now. And then together as a community, we're going to breathe into those dedications several times. I'll be bringing my hands to my heart center in Andhra Mudra. You can join me if you would like, or keep your hands where they are. First, take a really deep breath in, fill all the way up. If you've got your hands there, feel your chest press into your thumbs. And then on exhale, release, let go completely. Allow your muscles to also soften as you do so. One more time, deep breath in. Inhale, all sides expand of your rib cage. Exhale, let go. And then once more for yourself. And allow your eyes to blink open if they have closed. If you simply soften your gaze, allow them to refocus, drawing a little bit more information from around you. Wonderful. Now we're going to start the more active part of our practice. We're going to start with a couple neck stretches. We're going to move all the way down to our body and become larger and larger through our movements. I'll be starting with my right hand, so you can mirror me, or you can follow the sign of my voice. My right hand's going to come up over, and it's going to tap just above my ear. I'm going to drop my right ear toward my right shoulder working away from me. If you'd like a little bit more intensity here, maybe this is needed, maybe not. Walk out your left fingertips and just gently claw the mat. You may or may not need to hop off of the proper sitting on if you're sitting on one, or this might be fine. You can stay right here, or on your exhale, start to draw a circle with your chin until your chin is about in line with the center of your chest. And your inhales, just roll it all the way back. Keep your right shoulder down. Continue moving with that breath. Make sure you bring back towards the right, your ear over on top of your shoulder. Take your right fingertips to the right side of your head and press your head right back up. We're gonna take other side. For me, left arm comes up and over, drop my shoulder away. Fingertips are above my ear, drop left ear down. Whew. And then if you'd like to take that extra intensity, walk your right fingertips out, just a little bit of tension. Clawing at your mat or the ground, just a little bit more. And then your left hand to your head, you're not really pulling down. This is just a reminder to drop your head down. Not a whole lot of effort. And then if you like taking those half circles here, I guess really quarter circles, on your exhale, start to drop your chin down, drawing a circle until your chin is about in line with the center of your chest. Your inhales take you back to where you started. And then find your way back if you're taking that movement to the place where your left ear is above your left shoulder, left fingertips to the left side of your head, and then lift your head right back up. You're gonna take your hands behind your back and just interlace your fingertips. Notice which pinky's on the outside. Pull both hands over toward your right hip. This might come around a little bit, maybe a lot. And then you're going to drop your right shoulder over toward your right ear again. Again, if you like taking that little bit of a sway, move gently, move with intention. Notice if your rib cage is starting to jut out and you're arcing your back a lot, and just draw it in slightly. Once your ear comes in the same plane as your shoulder, lift your head right back up. Change out the grip of your hands, opposite pinky on the outside, and then swing around. So your knuckles are towards your left hip, then drop your left ear toward your left shoulder. So if you're not mirroring me, the thing simply to remember here is wherever your hands are, that is the direction that your head is going to tilt. And then bring your head back up to center, unclasp your hands. We're gonna take a couple of seated twists here. First, we're gonna stay in the pose for a couple breaths, and then we'll move with breath. Inhale to reach arms out and up, maybe gaze up toward your thumbs for a little bit of an extra stretch. Exhale, twist to your left, right hand towards your thigh or knee. Left fingertips behind you. If you're sitting on a prop and this works, this still is okay. Continue to twist toward the left. Make sure you're sharing the weight of your body on right hip. Notice if your chin is pointing up a lot, and then just gently draw it back down. Maybe send your gaze beyond your left shoulder. Last full breath here. And then on an inhale, take it back to center, arms lift. Baby gaze up. Exhale, twist toward the right, same but different. Left hand to the top of your right thigh or knee, right fingertips behind you. Inhale, rise up, finding lots of length. Exhale, twist more deeply. Even here, can you start to bring your right shoulder away from you? So it's like your shoulder blades are gently drawing together. And make sure not all the weight is coming to the right side. Shift a bit to the left. One more, full breath in and out here. And then on your next inhale, take it back to center, arms lift. This time we're going to move with our breath. On an exhale, twist to left. Stay here all the way to the end of that exhale. And then on your next breath in, come back to center, arms lift. Exhale to twist to the right. Once more, either side. After that second time, come back to center with arms lifted. And on an exhale, press your palms together. Bring your hands back down to your heart center. Allow your chin to come about in line with your thumbs, so eventually you're gazing down towards your fingertips. Then drop your hands, lift up your head. We're going to take Utkatasana arms. So at this time, if you'd like to use a strap or a belt instead of maybe clasping hands to your shirt, you can do that. So in order to do this, I'm going to reach your right arm out and up. Palm is facing towards the front. Flip your hand, and then just drop your hand like you're patting yourself on the back. Left arm comes out, thumb is down. Swing it back behind you, so the back of your hand is touching the back of your back. Maybe you draw your fingertips together and you find a clasp. You can grasp your shirt, or again, if that strap was in your right hand, use your left hand to find it. Point your right elbow up, left elbow down. Again, if your rib cage is jutting out, you've got a lot of arc in your back, just draw it in just a bit. Straight line from shoulders over hips. Use your core to support you. Okay, right here. Keeping your hands where they are, in the grip of fingertip, shirt, or strap. Loosen the grip just slightly, and then intensify that. Loosen the grip once more. Unravel left arm first. Flip your palm up. Unravel your right hand. Take it all the way down. Perfect. Now we're going to take the other way. So left hand, if you're using a strap, place a strap in your left hand. Reach your arm out and up. And then flip your palm away from you. Drop your hand like you're patting yourself on the back. Just let the strap fall down. Right arm is out. Thumb is down. Sweep it back behind you. Careful of shoulders. Mine gets achy. Have an injury, so I know that I always have to be really careful as I do that. Grasp strap, shirt, or fingertips. Left elbow up, right elbow pulls down. Knit in your ribs. Again, if your chin is pointing way, way, way up in an effort to help, it's not helping. Just drop your chin down. Send your ears back in space so that they're about over your shoulders. And then once again, loosen the grip that you've got and whatever you've got. And then intensify the grip once more. What changes? And then release gently, and then completely release. Unravel the bottom arm, unravel the top arm. Come back to center, set the strap to the side. If you like to use a strap, set it towards the top of your mat. We're going to take some range of motion in our hips. So I'm going to move to my right first. I'm going to shift my weight to the right. Kind of find this like cobra pose in my chest and come forward. And I'm going to exhale. I'm going to rock it back, look down towards my belly, kind of like a cat pose. Inhale, take me to the right again. Exhale, moving it back. Third time like that. It's just cracked. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I picked it up. And then come back to center. We're going to move in the opposite direction. For me, I'm moving to the left. Shoulder blades on my back as I lean forward, and then I draw them away from you as I lean back. 2 more cycles. All right, and then come back to center. We're going to do a seated cow and cat. So more just focus on the front and back, but same kind of idea. Inhale, lean forward, shoulder blades look up this time. You get to look up. Exhale, lean back. Arch your spine, gaze down. Inhale, sweep it forward. Exhale, take it back. It's okay if your knees are rising. No big deal. One more time like that. Exhale, take it back. All right, this time we're going to come over onto our hands and knees for more traditional cow and cat. If you've been using a prop like I have, set it to the side. If you need a prop to put under your knees, now is the time. So make sure that your wrists are below your shoulders, knees below hips. First, just find some organic movement. Move through your elbows, through your hips, fingertips. And then come back to a more neutral pose. We'll take a traditional cow and cat. Inhale. Drop your belly, lift up your hips, reach your heart forward, gaze up. Exhale, press through hands and knees, arch your spine, look back. 4 more times, your own breath. You can change this up any way you like. Maybe you'd like to take a C curve. Maybe something else. And then after that last cat pose, bring your toes together, knees slightly apart, and start to shift your hips back for a child's pose. Arms release out in front of you. If your forehead doesn't come down to the mat, then consider stacking your fists and then dropping your forehead onto those. Reach your arms long out in front of you. Come up onto spider fingers. Wrap your inner elbows up toward the ceiling and then reach your hips back toward your heels even more. Can your head remain heavy here? And then when you're ready, press up to your hands and knees once again. Realign your shins so they're parallel to each other. We're going to take an exaggerated cat-cow flow. Shift your hips back like a modified child's pose. On an inhale, rise to your knees, palms lift up, back bend perhaps. Exhale, bow back to the modified child's pose. Inhale, carry your heart forward, belly is down for a cow pose. Exhale, press up to cat and shift your hips back to the modified child's. Twice more with this flow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow, modified child's. Inhale, keep it low, belly is down for a cow pose. Exhale, press up to cat, and then take it back to that modified child's. Once more, inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, carry it forward with your belly down for a cow. Exhale, press up into a cat pose, then tuck your toes, shift your hips back, get lots of length. Maybe you need to walk your fingertips out further, and then start to lift your hips for your first downward facing dog of this class. Give yourself a little bit of movement, more snapping in my body. And then you're gonna actually walk your hands about one hand's length closer, so you've got this like squatty dog, tiny dog. You might need to bend your knees a little bit. We're going to take a bit of a twist. So take your right hand and then reach it across for your left thigh, calf, or ankle. And then you're going to continue to press away from the mat with your left hand. Maybe your legs come straighter. Also, option, use the tension with your right hand to draw yourself underneath. So you might look up toward the ceiling or up towards your left bicep. Release your right hand, place it so it is next to the other. Left hand comes underneath you, thigh, calf, or ankle. Continue to pull your right hip back so it's not coming forward all the way. And again, inner elbow of right arm is pointing up toward the ceiling. Spread your fingertips wide. And then place your hand next to the other. Bend your knees pretty generously. Walk your hands back towards the back of your mat. So you're going to forward fold at the back of the mat. Offer yourself ragdoll pose. Bent knees. You can take elbows and hands, sway a bit. Just breathe. And then release whatever class you take. You're going to walk your hands back to your downward facing dog. And we're going to check out that distance right here. On an inhale, lift to your toes, roll to the top of a plank pose. You want to make sure that your wrists are below your shoulders, elbows wrapping towards the front, knit in, long neck, simply breathe. And then we're going to lower all the way to the mat. You might take your knees down, or you might just lower in one movement. We're going to take a cobra pose here. Press the tops of your feet to the mat. Shrug your shoulders up and back. Bring your elbows back toward each other. Pressing through your hands and like dragging a bit. Pressing the tops of your feet. On an inhale, lift up. So if you drag your hands, notice if you start to pull your chest forward a bit. Even press through your pinky toes. Your knees might even come up away from the mat. Soften the jaw. Drop your forehead. It actually doesn't help you lift higher. I know. A disappointment. Exhale, release it back down. All right, next I'd like to move into some shoulder stretches. We've moved into some of our mobility. I'm going to start with my right hand. I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to bring my right arm out, perpendicular to me. My palm down, my thumb up. Press through your left hand so that you start to roll over onto your right shoulder. Make sure that your thumb is about in line with your eyebrow. And you might find you need to bend your left knee and place your foot behind you for support. See if you can let your head rest. On your next exhale, roll to your belly. Come all the way back in. Bring your right hand in. Left arm out, perpendicular to your body. My thumb is in line with my eyebrow. I'm going to turn my head away. Press the right hand. Roll over onto my left shoulder. Maybe bending right knee. Release head. And then on your next exhale, if you bent your right leg, release it, straighten it out, come onto your belly once again. So again, feet into mat. Option to keep them hips distance or zip them up, bringing your ankles toward each other like mermaid legs. Your thighs are touching each other, very close. Bring your arms back, palms up. Reach your shoulders up and back like cobra, point back through your feet, and then lift up your legs. Look forward, we're in a variation of locust. Zipping your legs together, lift up, 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 up with your feet, reach back with your fingertips. Forehead is soft. Exhale, release everything down, one cheek toward the mat, let your heels flop out to the sides. Bring your hands back in close to you. Press up to your hands and knees. Tuck your back toes, lift up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend knees, look towards the top of your mat, and on an exhale, step or hop to the top, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, fingertips press against something, whether it's mat, shins, or thighs. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, press through your feet, reach your arms out and up. Palms will press above you on an exhale, hands to heart center. And then arms alongside your body, your first Tadasana posture of this class. And we'll flow through a sun salutation, A. Inhale, reach arms out and up, gaze up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, swan dive all the way down or take your hands to heart center. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, step back to the top of a plank pose. And then knees up or down, again, lower all the way to your mat, lowering your belly on top of it. Untuck your toes, cobra pose. Elbows reach toward each other, drag your arms alongside the mat, press to the tops of your pinkies. Exhale, take it back down. Make your way back to downward facing dog, either through hands and knees or pressing up to chaturanga. Continue your long, slow, deep breaths. Inhale, bend knees on an exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Breath in, wave long, offer your heart. Exhale, fold, honor back to yourself, offering yourself compassion. Press through your feet, arms reach out and up. And then on an exhale, hands to heart center. Bring them back alongside your body. Reset. Next, inhale, arms lift, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. However you would like to get there. Bent knees are completely fine. Breath in, wave long. Heart reaches forward, press through both feet. Exhale, fold. Option to take a vinyasa or simply step back to a downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling, press your chest towards your left thigh. On an exhale, take your knee to your chest, lift your hips really, really high, and then place your foot in between your hands for right thumb. Drop your left knee down. As you're ready, arms lift up for an Anjaneyasana, sit low. Press to the top of your left foot like you're in cobra pose if your toes are not tucked. If they're tucked, that's also fine too. Allow your hips to sink down, shoulders wrap away from you, just breathe. On your next exhale, take your hands down toward the mat. More weight to left palm, peel right fingertips up, low lunge twist. We're going to take a quad stretch here, so if you'd like to use your strap, now's the time to kind of wrap around your foot. If you've created a lasso, then you can hook your foot in it. If no lasso, no sweat. Bend your left foot up, reach your right arm back for your foot. Another option here is to simply have active range of motion. Even if you can't connect, don't connect. And you'll feel a lot of activity through the back of your left thigh. If you want more of a stretch, is what I'm going for. I'm going to clasp my foot. Send your hips back towards your heel, make a connection, and then re-bend. More weight to left hand still, maybe even stack right shoulder over left. Breathe. Then release the foot or the strap. Take your right hand down to the mat. Tuck your back toes to lift up your back knee. And then, in one fell swoop, pull your knee to your chest, come back to the tripod dog, and then place your foot next to the other. On your next inhale, left leg up and back. Tripod. Exhale. Pull knee to chest, lift your hips high. Come high to your right toes. It'll help. Left foot comes between. Drop right knee down. When you're ready, arms lift. Exhale. Deepen into your Anjaneyasana posture. Dropping hips down. Left hip pulls back. Right hip pulls forward. When you're ready, on an exhale, hands touch down. Take your right hand out to the side slightly, left fingertips lift up, low lunge twist. And then your option for this bind or simply to reach, quad stretch. Bend your right knee, reach your left hand back, use a strap, find active range of motion, or if you're with me, I'm gonna clasp my foot, send my hips back, make a connection, rebend. And then stack left shoulder over right. Fingertips of right hand are still very spread apart. And then drop your foot. Take your hand down, tuck your back toes, and then in one fell swoop, pull your left knee to your chest, come back to the tripod dog, and then place your foot next to the other. Bend your knees, look towards the top of your mat. On an exhale, travel to the top of the mat, step or hop, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Come all the way up to standing. Make sure your feet are hips width distance apart. And we're gonna come to Utkatasana pose, chair pose. Things are gonna get fun. Rise to your toes. On an exhale, you're gonna come to drinking bird. Lift your hips up, sweep your arms back. Maybe your legs get straight, maybe you come parallel. Keeping your heels lifted, come back to your chair. Exhale, drinking bird. One more time like that. Inhale, come back to chair pose, heels lifted, fierce pose. Exhale, swing it back. And then drop hands, drop heels, forward fold. This is when things get interesting with the hand to toe pose. So you're gonna use your strap around your right foot, just grasp both ends in your right hand, or take your peace fingers and your thumb, don't think too much about it, go around your big toe. Bend your knees as much as you need to make that connection. Left hand to left hip, reach your shoulder up and back. Engage your belly, so take some of the arc out of your back. Again, this might mean you bend your knees. Shift the weight to left foot, okay? Start to lift up the right leg. Maybe you come all the way up to standing. Again, hand to hip is going to help, shoulders back. If you'd like to take it a little bit further, start to extend your right leg out. Maybe your strap assists you, your leg doesn't have to come straight, maybe it does. Drop your right hip. This is where it gets fun still. Maintaining the clasp either with hands or with your strap. You're going to start to bend both knees until your right foot is back onto the mat where you began. Yes. Then you release your strap to your hand, fingertips come down. Nice, you guys. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your left foot all the way to the back of your mat. You're in a low lunge, press through feet, lift all the way up. You're in a high lunge. Shoulders back, first one on the side. So drop your left knee, then re-straighten your leg. We're gonna take 3 twists here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist to the right. Thumbs up, right leg continues to move back. Maybe look back toward right thumb. Inhale, come back to center lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. Final time. And then come back to that high lunge. On an exhale, warrior 2 toward the white side of your yoga mat. Allow your hips to drop. Notice if you're surfing forward, and then just bring your shoulders back so that they are over your hips. Shoulders release back. Flip your right palm. One time, exalted warrior. And we're going to stay there for a moment. Left hand drops, right fingertips lift up. Keep the deep bend in the front knee. And arch, a cat has joined us, in your left foot. And then straighten your front leg, exalted triangle. Continue to find that activity through both legs. And then on an exhale, come back to warrior 2. We're moving into a side angle posture here. So you're gonna take forearm to right thigh, or if you prefer block, hand to block, or hand all the way to the mat. Left shoulder is over your right first. Look up toward the ceiling. Make sure your right hand is active, and then if you'd like, left fingertips up. Look up towards your left thumb. Shoulders still working away from your ear. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, look down towards your front foot. Pivot onto the ball of your back, hands come down. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Press up and back to down dog. If you need a vinyasa, take a vinyasa. Come back to your low, long, slow, steady breath. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, offer your heart, press through both feet to exhale, fold. Root to rise. Arms come up, arms stay lifted, shoulder width distance, feet are shoulder width distance. Sit low, Utkatasana, chair pose. Make it fierce, lift up onto your toes. You can stay right here or 3 times, moving with me for drinking bird. The exhales carry you forward, hips lift up. Your legs become straighter or straight. Inhale back to that fierce pose. Exhale, drinking bird. Inhale back to Utkatasana. Final time with that drinking bird. And then drop heels and hands down toward the mat. All right, we're gonna take that hand to toe again. So strap around your left foot or peace fingers and thumb to your big toe, right hand to right hip. Reach your your shoulder up and back, bend knees as much as you need. Shift the weight to your right foot until you can lift your left foot, even if it's just like half an inch and you pop back down. That's it, you're in the posture. Maybe you can make it all the way up. This doesn't make you a better yogi. And then if you'd like to take it further, you can start to extend your leg out, partially or fully, whichever option you've chosen. Keep your left hip dropped. It's okay if both of your knees are bent. Find one thing to focus on that is not moving. And then to keep things interesting, keep that bind, bend both knees. Your left foot comes all the way down to where it started before you release. Nice. And then take both hands down to the mat. Wave it out if you need. Set the strap to the side if you used it. Take a little bit deeper bend into your knees. Step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. So you're in a low lunge. Hop your fingertips away, lift all the way up. So first time on the side. So drop your hips, bend your right knee. Left hip, knock it back. And then start to re-straighten. We're gonna take 3 of those open arm twists once again. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist the left. Thumbs are up, maybe look back towards left thumb. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, deepen your twist. Inhale up, 3rd time. Then inhale back to your high lunge. Exhale, warrior 2 toward the long side of your mat. Sit low. Make sure that your knee is about over your, like in the same line as your second toe of your left foot. Left palm flips up 1 time, exalt. Right hand to right thigh or low back. Notice you come out of the bend or rebend it. And then straighten the front leg, exalted triangle pose. See if you can even find the longest leg through the left side of your body. And then on an exhale, you're gonna come through warrior 2 into an extended side angle. Left forearm to left thigh or to block or to mat. Again, on this side, make sure your right shoulder is stacked over first. Use your hips and your ribs to gently draw in toward each other, activate your core. And then if you'd like, unravel, right fingertips are up toward the ceiling. Find activity through left fingertips for whatever option you've chosen. And then on an exhale, look down towards the front of your mat. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot, hands come down. Step left foot back to meet right. Make your way back to downward facing dog. If you'd like the vinyasa, please take it. Once you've found your vinyasa, your downward facing dog rather, allow yourself at least 3 full rounds of breath. And then take a restful pose, child's pose or something else, perhaps simply sitting back on your knees. You have the next 5 breaths to yourself. You'll find yourself after that on your belly and then flipped onto your back. The next of the 5 breaths are for you. That is where we'll meet. The first of 5 breaths begins now. So about now, you might be coming up on that 5th breath. Make your way onto your belly. I'm facing the same direction. You can do whatever you'd like. And I'm going to just flip onto my back. We're going to do another hand to toe pose. However, this is reclined. Again, you can use your hand to thigh, to foot, or to use a strap. Left leg out in front of you if this is comfortable. If not, simply bend your knee. If you've got like a little back, kind of like, tension and things like that, just bend your knee, place your foot, no big deal. Right leg comes in, hand to the backs of your thigh, or hand to your foot, or use a strap. Extend your right heel up toward the ceiling, toes flex towards you. Your right leg doesn't need to be straight. Make your left leg a little bit softer and start to draw your right leg towards you. Flexing your heel up toward the ceiling, shoulders are released down as best you can. Simply breathe. Release that tension. Turn the toes of your right leg out toward the right and then drop your right leg out to the side. Again, if you're using a strap, awesome. Hand to thigh is fine. Also, fingertips to big toe, also okay. Left hip, drop it down. You might have a tendency to roll over, just breathe. And then bring your leg up to center. Turn your toes to the left, then drop your entire leg across your body. Your right hip will come up and away. Close to the wall, you might need to adjust. Right arm comes out for a little bit of a counterbalance. Again, more intensity as you draw your leg up around like a good arc around your head. Then come back to center, loosening the strap as much as you need. Bend right knee, place into the mat, and then extend your leg out in front of you. Pull your left knee in, start to extend the leg up towards the sky. Again, strap, fingers, hands and thigh, whatever is best for you. Shoulders release back, press up through your heel, bring your toes towards your face, and then use tension of hands to gently draw the leg up. Loosen the tension you've created, left toes out to the left, and however you'd like, left leg comes out to the side, right hip drops down. I don't know if you guys can hear that cat, it's kind of amazing. All right, loosen that a bit, so you take your leg up towards center, turn your toes to the right, drop your entire leg across your body. Yogi's choice, how intense you'd like this to be. You can use the strap. This is going to accentuate it. If you're just using hand to thigh, it might be a little bit more of a different kind of a stretch, maybe not as intense. All right, release that tension that you've created. Take the leg back up to center. Bend both knees. Set the strap to the side if you used it. And then knees to chest, wind relieving pose. You can rock a little bit from side to side if you like. Then release your legs out in front of you. Flop back over onto your belly. And we're going to take that same locust pose that we did at the beginning, or toward the beginning of class. Reach your shoulders up and back. Reach your arms back, palms up. Legs can zip together. If you'd like, shoulders come up. Like you've got cobra pose, reach back with your fingertips, point back with your toes so much they have no choice but to lift. Take the pose out of your forehead. Exhale, release. One cheek down toward the mat. Then press your way up to hands and knees, and then back to downward facing dog. Strengthening breath in. Cleansing exhale. Inhale, bend knees, look towards the top of your mat. Exhale, step or hop to the top, forward fold. Breath in, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Reach your arms out and up. Keep your palms separated. Utkatasana, sit low, fierce pose. Lift up your heels. If you're moving with me, 3 times with drinking bird. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, carries you forward, hips lift. After that 3rd time, release your heels and your hands down to the mat. Right hand to right foot, hand to toe pose. Take your left hand to your left hip, shrug your shoulder back, shift the weight to left foot. Start to lift up your right foot. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. If you come all the way upright, start to extend your leg out toward the front. If you'd like to challenge your balance even more, start to draw your right leg out to the side. Again, your legs don't have to be straight. Optional challenge. to your left. Okay, keeping all the grip, keeping that clasp that you've got, whether it's hands or strap. Start to take the leg back to front of you, taking that version, and then we'll all bend both knees until the foot is firmly placed. Then release your fingertips. Nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your left foot all the way to the back of your mat for a low lunge. Press through both feet. Hover fingertips away. No slingshot. Inhale, lift up. High lunge. All right, we're going to take that open arm twist here 3 times. Inhale, lift. Get out of the posture. Exhale, twist. Thumbs up. Look back towards right thumb, possibly. Inhale. Exhale, twist. 3rd time. Take it back to the high lunge pose. Exhale, warrior 2. Long side of your mat. Make the adjustments that you need. Gaze out beyond your right middle finger. Sit low. Flip your right palm, drop your left, or take it behind your back. Exalted warrior. Maintain the deep bend. And then straighten the front leg so you've got an exalted triangle. On an exhale, transition to your side angle. Forearm to thigh, or maybe to blocker, all the way to the mat. Left fingertips point up toward the ceiling. If you'd like to take the extended version, reach the arm out beyond you so that your tricep is more above your left ear. Continue to breathe. Activity through right fingertips. And see if you can keep the arch of your left foot. On your next exhale, look down toward your right foot. Cycle all the way down, take your hands down toward the other. Step your left foot forward to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet, reach your arms out and up. And on an exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Cool. Tree pose. We're going to take a Utkatasana. So shift your weight to your left foot. Come up onto the ball of your right. Bring your right knee out to the side. So you're familiar. Bring your foot in closer toward you. Little bend to your left knee. This gives you more strength, more stability. And then start to draw your foot up. If you would like, use your hand to bypass your knee. Press your foot into your thigh. Tailbone is down. Maintain that openness that we've been creating, bringing the right knee out to the side. Options here. We've done some shoulder opening. We've done some konasana, some other things going on with our shoulders. So you could take a more traditional approach to your arms, or if you would like, reverse prayer. To come to that, flip your thumbs down, palms behind you, and then bring your hands to your low back, fingertips to touch. Maybe hands to hip is where you're at, maybe fingertips. Perhaps you start to slide your hands toward each other until your palms are toward each other. Notice if you've got a big arc. Come away from that. Press the heels of your hands together, palms toward each other. Knitting in your ribs. Wherever each of your foot is pressing, press in more. If you're looking to challenge your balance further, send your eye gaze up or begin to close your eyes. Begin to open your eyes if you've taken that option. Start to bring your hands back to your heart center if you've taken that reverse prayer. Be very gentle for your shoulders, hands back to heart. Bring your right knee back towards the front of the room. Stand down. Shift the weight. Get the blood flowing again. And then come to Samastiti, hands at heart, or if you prefer, arms at your sides in Utkatasana. Check in with yourself. Why'd you step on the mat? What compassion can you offer yourself? We're going to flow back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to take a half sun salutation, please do that. If you simply want to step back, please do that. We'll take the other side of our sequence. Move whenever you're ready. In your downward facing dog, full breath in, and a fuller breath out. Once more for yourself, offer yourself compassion. Then bend your knees, look towards top of mat. On an exhale, travel to the top of your mat for your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Uttanasana, exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Come all the way up to standing. Keep your palms separated from each other. Feet are just a distance apart as well. Utkatasana. Sit low, rise up onto your toes. Option to stay here in fierce pose or 3 times moving to drinking bird. Your exhale, draw you forward. After that 3rd time, drop your heels, drop your hands. Take your right hand to your right hip, left hand or strap to your left. Find your security, shift the weight to the right leg. Start to pick up your left foot, maybe just a little bit, maybe a lot of it. If you come up to standing, give yourself the chance to start to extend your left leg out. And then if you'd like to take it a little bit further, challenging your balance, bring your left leg out to the side. And even further, send your gaze to the right. Keeping the grip, bring the leg back to front, bending the knees. Both feet are onto the mat before you release both hands down. Just like that. And then take a really deep bend in your knees. So you can step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat for your low lunge. Take your hands away from the mat. Use the power that you've created to lift all the way up. Yes. High lunge. 3 times we'll take that open arm twist. Inhale to lift up. Get out of your own way. Get out of the pose. Exhale, twist. Thumbs are up. Gaze toward left thumb. Inhale to center. 2nd time. And then once more. Take it back to the high lunge. And then open up warrior 2 toward the long side of your mat. Sit low. Left palm flips up, exalted warrior. Right hand drops or behind your waist. Lift up your left hand. And then straighten left leg. Exalted triangle. On an exhale, transition all the way through warrior 2 to your side angle posture. And again, if you would prefer to take an extended side angle, maybe instead of just like knocking your hand over, consider dropping your elbow and your shoulder first and then extending out. Just breathe. Find a long, slow breath. Surrender control where it's not needed. And then on your next exhale, look down towards your front foot. Take your hands down, put it onto the ball of your back foot. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Come all the way to standing. Press through your feet to reach your arms out and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And we're going to take that Vrksasana tree pose once again. So in this side, shift the weight to your right foot. Come onto the ball of your left, bring your left knee out to the side. Tailbone starts to point down, and all I mean when I say that is that you're like pulling up, you're engaging your core. That's all that's happening here. Zip up, and then start to bring your foot in, maybe higher up. Hand to assist if you like. And then once you've found your stability, take an arm variation of your choice. If you want to take something more traditional, please do that. If you want to kind of follow along with some of these shoulder, the opening that we've been working on in this particular class, again, bring your arms out to the side, palms away from you, thumbs down, don't have to be like up towards your shoulders, and then just bring to your low back, backs of your hands towards the top of your bum, then flips to the tops of your fingertips together. Start to slide the palms toward each other, maybe get to the point where heels of hands, and then find that core strength. So you're lifting up, pressing through both feet. Take yourself to your edge. Where do you start to wobble When you sit your gaze up, allow your eyes to close. When you loosen the tension in your jaw. And then we're going to start to unwind. If your head is lifted, start to bring your gaze down. Unravel your hands, bring them back to your heart and take one of those options. Bring your left knee toward the front of the room first. Be nice to your joints and then stand down. A little bit of movement. And then come back to your Samasthiti when you're ready to find a little bit of stillness. So hands at heart center. Or if you prefer, Tadasana with arms toward your sides. Once again, allow your eye gaze to soften or simply close your eyes if that's not too vulnerable for you. Recognize what is the same and what is different. What changes, what never changes. What did you think that would never change and it did? If your eyes opened or closed, once again, you're going to take your way back to downward facing dog. If you'd like to flow through half sun salutation A, that is what I'm going to be guiding. Also, feel free to simply step back. If you want to move to this rhythm of your own breath, please do that. Inhale, arms lift, gaze is up, shoulders are down. Exhale, hinge at hips, arms reach wide. Lead with your heart, take it all the way down. Breath in, halfway lift, offer your heart once again, pressing through feet. Exhale, fold, bow to yourself. Step back to top of plank pose. On an exhale, knees upward down, lower two or toward the mat, chaturanga all the way down. Untuck toes for your back bend. And on an exhale, lift up your hips, take it back to downward facing dog. Make sure that you've given yourself at least 3 rounds of breath in your downward facing dog. And at the end of that third exhale, whenever it occurs for you, knees to mat, hips to heels for child's pose, or another restful posture. This might not be it. It might be sitting on your heels. It might be sitting on a block. Just focus on your breath. And then when you're ready, start to press your way up to sit onto your heels. And then just bump your hips to the side. So you can bring your legs out in front of you. We're first going to take up on a konasana posture, upright. So your knees are bent. Start to walk the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to drop out wide. If you want to intensify this posture. Fingertips behind you, lift up your hips. Scooch them towards your heels. Hands to your feet. If your knees are way high, totally fine. That's the pose. Inhale. Heart forward, shoulder blades back, and then on exhale, hinge at your hips. Once you find that your back begins to round, just back out, re-enter. And also, if this feels weird on you, you can always sit on a prop here. A block might be a little too high, like a pillow, or even like folding up your mat a couple times. It can be really nice. And then lift your way back up. If you took your hips closer, fingertips behind you, lift up your hips, scooch it back, just the safest way to do it. Extend your left leg, your right knee remains bent. Place your right foot into your left thigh. And take a Vinyasa pose. Again, you could do this posture slightly lifted on a pillow or a blanket, something like that. Flex your left toes, left leg doesn't have to be straight. Inhale, lift up, pivot torso over your left leg, and then reach for your foot. You guys strap nearby. Use that too. Bring forward your hands, just come down to your thighs or your calf. Inhale, lift up halfway. Feel your left hip notch back. Reach your heart for your chest, and then take it further. If you've got lots of room here, left hand extends, thumb down, and reach your right arm around to grasp the wrist. Actively press your right knee down and away from you. Your right hip presses down to the mat. Chin down, 3, Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release whatever you take and lift up. Right hand behind you, fingertips facing away. Sweep your left arm around, come up onto the left foot, right shin, stargazer pose. Reach back. Then on an exhale, drop your hips, cycle all the way back down. Extend your right leg. Place your left foot into your right thigh, meaning your left knee is bent. Adjust as much as you need. Take the strap nearby if you'd like to use it. Inhale, lift up, pivot over your right leg. Reach for your foot or use your strap to go around it. And then inhale, lift up halfway. Hook your heart forward. Right hip comes back. And then start to lower down. Again, maybe your right arm is long like your leg. And your left hand comes around to grasp your wrists. Allow your chin to drop down. Your left knee, your left hip are drawing away from you. Let your tongue go soft. When you're ready, lift up halfway. And then completely release your pose. Left hand behind you, fingertips away. About 12 to 14 inches. Sweep your right arm around. Come up onto left shin, right foot, stargazer pose. You can look straight up toward the ceiling, or if it's comfortable on your neck, look towards your right fingertips or even beyond. And then on an exhale, drop your hips back down to that spiral all the way back. Roll over onto your belly once again. Third time to take that locust pose. It's like everybody's favorite. Sweep your shoulders up and back. Reach your arms back. If you want, clasp them. Bring your legs together only if you'd like. If it feels better in your low back, have them separated. Leave them separated. Reach your knuckles or your fingertips back, 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 back. Point your toes so much. There's nowhere for them to go but up. Soften your forehead. I know. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then exhale. Release the clasp if you take it. One cheek down toward the mat. Maybe wiggle your hips a bit. Option to take that pose just like that. One more time. You've done it several times, so you got it. Or if you'd like to take a bow pose, then you'll be moving with me. I'm going to bend both my knees. Could potentially use a strap for this as well. I'm going to take my hands. I'm going to take hands to outside of feet, but there's also an option to take hands to the inside. It's a little bit deeper through your shoulders. I'm going to take outside this time. It's really, really similar. I'm going to shrug my shoulders up and back. I'm going to press my hands to feet, feet to hands. And a little bit of rocking back and forth as I breathe is fine. See if you can prevent yourself from craning your neck up. And can you bring your knees closer together even as you do this? And then on your next exhale, release tension. Let go of your feet if you've taken an option of your strap. Send your opposite cheek down to the mat. Let your heels drop out to the side. And rest. When you're ready, flip onto your back, just like a pancake. Or like, whatever works. Bend with knees, place your feet to the mat. Figure 4 pose, cross right ankle over left. Again, strap if you want it. Bring around your left thigh or use your hands. See if you can release your head back. Flexing right foot, right knee is working away from you. As you gently draw your left thigh in towards your chest. And then when you're ready, release your foot, let your foot come down, uncross your legs. Take your feet as wide as or just wider, as wide as your mat or just a little bit wider than my arm. Drop both knees over to the right. Take it back to center, drop both knees over to the left. Then bring your knees back to center once again. Since you took that wider stance, walk your feet back in line so that your heels are in line with your hips. Cross left ankle over right for figure four, opposite side. Bring your right thigh closer to you. You can use your hand, you can use your strap. If you're using a grip, do you remember which pinky is on that side? If not, next time. Flex your left foot, left knee draws away from you. Draw your right thigh in close. Then release your clasp, drop your foot, uncross. Separate your feet a little bit wider and then drop both knees over to the left side. Take it back to center, drop both knees over to the right. And take it back to center once again. Realign your heels in line with your hips. Pull both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself an embrace. Offer yourself compassion. Offer up a little bit of gratitude for everything that has brought you here. Whether you might classify it as good or bad, doesn't matter, got you here. It's worth offering gratitude to that. And then the final posture of this class is Shavasana. If there's any other poses you need to make, any other adjustments, then please take this time to do so. If you even would prefer another posture that's not quite a traditional Shavasana, that's totally up to you. I'll be guiding through a Shavasana, however. So to come to your Shavasana, once you've found all the poses that you need on, or hair adjustments, your legs come out, your feet a little bit wider, perhaps pointing towards the corners of your mat. Feet flop out to the side. Your calves feel like they're feeling sticky. Press through your heels to lift up and then drop them back down again. Similarly, if your back feels like it's not fully supported, you want to experience some more of that opening that we've been creating. Press the back of your head and your elbows lift up your back. Slide your shoulder blades down and release back. This will help facilitate your palms resting up as well. And then we're going to start the process of letting go. Soles of your feet go soft. Tops of feet relax. Ankles are no longer supporting you. Shins, calves. Drop kneecaps, thighs. Heavy pelvis and a soft belly. Shoulders and back supporting you. Heart right. Upper arms, elbows, forearms. Relax down into the mat or to the ground beneath you. Wrists go soft, backs of hands, palms, fingertips. A relaxed throat, your bottom jaw separate from the top. Tongue releasing from the roof of your mouth. Hollow cheeks, closed eyes, heavy eyes, smooth forehead. On your next inhale, breathe in compassion for yourself. And exhale, give it out. On your next inhale, draw in all the compassion that's just offered to you. And exhale, release everything that doesn't support you. Start to find some movement through your body, starting small and becoming larger. And whenever you're ready, roll over onto one side and stay for a few moments, acknowledging this transition. And then keeping your eyes closed or soft eye gaze, make your way to a seated posture of your choice for a very brief reflection and meditation. I'll be singing the sound of Om one time. If you'd like to join me, please do. If you prefer to listen, please listen. Bring your palms together, thumbs toward your sternum. First, let's take a collective breath in and out. Breathe in to sing. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Thank you for helping me to do my own personal practice. So we all offer ourselves and each other compassion. On an inhale, bring your arms out enough, palms press above your head, and on an exhale, take your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows for clarity of thought, to your lips for clarity of speech, and then to your heart for clarity of action. Bow your head to your heart, honor yourself, offer yourself gratitude, thank yourself. In the name of the highest good. Namaste. Everyone is now unmuted.
Bye, thank you.